Hi everyone, welcome back to ArtObsessionoz. Today I'm creating a 3D lily bouquet using the bloom technique, and at the end I'm turning the finished piece into a beautiful bowl with the silver rim. This one was a joy to make, so let me walk you through it. So I'm starting with my clear base layer, just enough to coat the bottom of the tray so the flowers have room to bloom and to float around or to move. I always like to warm my resin slightly. It helps the bloom technique spread a lot smoother. Yeah, this is just me getting rid of the bubbles, because sometimes they stick to the bottom of the mold. Just taking out a little. So just popping all the bubbles off with my torch, and then I will start to add my color. This part takes a little bit long because you've got to put the colors in, mix your white. So I'm using Cast and Craft. I love this white paste, it's the best. So I've got about 35 grams of resin, and I put in 3 drops. So 1 drop to every 10 grams. If you hear a fan in the background, it's my computer. So I'm letting my resin stand for a couple of minutes, and then while that's sitting, I'm mixing my white. I know you can't see it, but looking at that empty tray tends to. So I'm just getting my bag ready. I don't have a very large space to work in, so sometimes we miss the corners. One more hit with the gun. Take out all those bubbles. I love this mold. The only thing is that when you order it from Temu, the way they wrap their stuff, sometimes it comes like dented in the middle. So what I've done is I've put water on my table, and I've stuck the suction of the silicone to the table, removes all those bubbles. I learned that from actually an Indian lady who was so that way I can still use my mold without a problem. So I'm using, I think it's honey color to just do the middles of my flowers. And I'll just let you watch this part because it's just different colors. There was quite a few I added, so just listen to some music and just watch the process. Talk to you soon. So for this piece I'm using a mix of colors. I guess each lily has its own personality, some lighter, some deeper. I've got a few different alcohol inks here, and I'm just playing with combinations until I get something, I guess, that feels right. So now I'm placing little pools of color where each lily will go. And nothing has to be perfect. The bloom technique takes over from here. So after I finish putting these colors on, I'll add my white bloom mixture on top of it, and this is what gives the flowers their soft petal-like expansion. They just spread. So in this technique, some petals bloom faster, some bloom slower. That's really the magic, I guess, of this technique. You know, the middle ones being shoved in the middle maybe takes a little bit longer to open up. Yeah, it's nice to have different colors in one piece, and you know, each lily, I guess, is slightly different. But it really comes together after it blooms. That's the best part. So now we'll apply the white paste. I'm just seeing whether it's ready to pour. If it comes dripping out of your bag, you know that it's not ready, so give it another few minutes and you'll find that it'll come out drop by drop instead of just a pour. You know your white pigment paste is ready to use. So this is me laying down the petal shapes. I'll just let you watch the whole process. I'll put some music on. It's quite therapeutic actually for me when I'm pouring these. Okay, talk to you soon. So now I'm just applying a little bit of heat with the gun, removing all the blobs. Yeah, if you don't want the blobs, you've got to remove those little end where you start and you end. It ends up having a little white little pearl there, so you've got to stretch that out a little bit so you don't it doesn't become too heavy for the resin. So that's basically what I'm doing. Just giving some shape to the petals. So if ever you're stuck with your petals not moving, just apply a little bit of heat with your heat gun and you'll find that it loosens or makes it warms up your resin, and it makes the bloom start to spread, like to make those petal shapes. As you can see at the edge of the mold, you see them opening up, so the heat actually helps open up your molds if ever you get stuck, so keep that in mind. So that's it, now we wait.